follow along with me, otherwise you're going to have to visualize it. Sorry about that. Brian and I were scrambling around in the back for about 30 minutes trying to figure out how to do all that. That's why the lights went out. First of all, we've taken on a huge task in this endorsement process. And kind of before we get started, you know, we talked to Pat, and Pat, appreciate you appointing me chair, and we had to scramble pretty quick once we got the legal okay from Jay Wright, who's our attorney over here, to move forward. I'll go through some of that information and what legalizes us to be able to do that. But before I do that, I wanted to also recognize members of the vetting committee. Brian Crumby is generalized in helping me in a lot of different areas. Larry Rogers is coordinating all the questionnaires going out, coming in, and scheduling the interviews. Ken Vaughn is heading up our research team, and he's got some fantastic stuff, and I really wish that I could show you the PowerPoint, but you'll have to visualize with me unless James could get something going here. Del Fessenden is also on the research committee. Dennis Tibbs was on the committee, but his work's kind of pulled him away. And Vicki Hill has been helping, and families kind of pulled her away. We need some volunteers to research. There are a lot of things that we have to research out there. I'll go over the specifics here in just a minute, what we're up against. Legally, the MCTP is the domestic nonprofit corporation. We're not a 501c3, nor are we a 501c4. Our primary activity, which allows us to do pretty much what a PAC does without giving money, is the fact that we educate members and public about current issues and the efficiency of government or lack thereof. We host meetings, events, websites, shoot blast out, and have social media that accomplish all those objectives. Our endorsement and recommendations are not our main purpose or activity. It's really just a small part of it, but as you'll probably agree with me, is going to be one of the most important things that we do come February and March. We cannot, as a group, coordinate or give money to a campaign as a group. However, we can work with and give money to a campaign as an individual. Okay, that's very similar to the PAC or to a PAC. A PAC can give money to a campaign, they cannot coordinate with it. We can't coordinate either, okay, nor can we give money. They can, we can't. That's the big distinguishing difference right there. Okay, 2014 Texas statewide elections that affect Montgomery County. There's a lot of them. There's 26 races. Half of those are unopposed, 13. There's 76 candidates in all those races, and we've interviewed 8 today. We have everything from Montgomery County District Clerk all the way up to U.S. Senator and everything in between. I can tell you that there's, again, 13 unopposed. There's a lot of judges' races, the Montgomery County Clerk, the Treasurer, the District Clerk. Nichols is unopposed, and SD3, which is different than SD4 and what Steve Toth and Gordy Bunch and Brandon are running in. But there's 4 U.S. Senators, at least 2 House, 4 governors, 4 Lieutenant Governor candidates, 3 Attorney General candidates. We've interviewed one comptroller. We just interviewed over tonight. A land commissioner, or 2 that I'm aware of, 3 ag commissioners, 6 railroad commissioners. You know, if you came to the debates, you saw, you know, the number that we were working with. Our primary focus that we decided from the get-go, because of the sheer number, because of us getting started late, the number of candidates, is that we're focusing on Senate District 4, because there is competition in that race. House District 15, and right now there's two candidates, Bruce Tuff, who announced earlier in the week, and then Mark Keogh, who just announced the other night at Eagle Forum. House District 15, there's 5 candidates. We've interviewed 1. House District 16, that would be Jason. County Judge, 3 candidates. County Commissioners, Precinct 2, there's 3. We've interviewed 1. Precinct 4, there's 6. We've interviewed 4. Justice of the Peace, there are 5 candidates run. There's 2 races that are contested, and there's 3 that are unopposed. So, as you can see, we've got a lot of work. We have to develop all the questions. We have a questionnaire that goes out to all these candidates, and we actually do it based on what questions can we come up with as a committee. And, you know, there's the basic stuff: where do you live, you know, how long have you lived there, what do you do, what's your occupation, and so forth and so on. But, and to a large degree, you know, we're looking for background, for the qualifications, the character, the knowledge, and the alignment with our mission and core values. When we do this questionnaire form, we have a working questionnaire that's on Google Docs, and it's like an online version of Excel or a spreadsheet. And so what we do is develop all the questions on the left-hand side, and then we actually, all the committee has columns that they can go on and vote on the questions that they want to see, and they weight it from 1 to 5, 5 being the most important. And then when all that voting happens, takes place, and we close the voting, we basically sum it up and sort from the top down, one with most votes, question with most votes, one with the least votes down below. And then we take usually between 15 and 20 questions and put it on the questionnaire, and then it goes out to our candidates. So we've got a real good mix of diversity for those particular races. Basically, it's a questionnaire that's front and back that we send out. Larry is doing a great job in doing that. You know, we'll formulate it, we'll put the questions down, send it to him, send it out. He's got to get all the contact information, phone numbers, emails, and that sort of thing, so he can be in touch with the candidates to make, you know, to expedite this. So when we get this back, what we're going to have, basically, and this is going to be pretty much for the world to see, is, again, visualize with me a spreadsheet, and on the left-hand side, we're going to have all the questions, because the same questions go out to all the candidates, and columns for each of the candidates and their answers to those questions right beside each other. Okay. We've got a tab set up on our website right now that's elections, and it's going to take you to that page. And on there, it's basically going to make a statement. It's going to have a link to vetting and what our policy is. And I'll go over some of those in just a second. We're going to have a candidates link. And Ken is working on a Wikipedia version for the races and the candidates. And I'll talk about that in a second. The main page, so we'll jump into that. What the main page of all the races are going to be is, it's just kind of an intro. Then it basically has the races and it lists them all. A national, you know, the Senate race and the House race that Brady is occupying right now. Then we'll have all the Texas races, and then we're going to have them for Montgomery County. And so they're going to be broken down so that when you go to that page, you can click on a link and it'll take you to the race, and then it'll have a listing of all the candidates on that page. Like for instance, in the U.S. Senate race, if I'm clicking on the U.S. Senate, I'll have Cornyn, Dwayne Stovall, Linda Vega, and Eric Wyatt. And then you can drill down even further on that, click on the candidate, and get kind of an intro, bio, intro across the top, if you work with Wikipedia, and then a bio off on the right-hand side in a column. And then we're going to have background, psychological positions, controversies, ratings from different groups that are out there around the state. And so this is where we need a lot of help from that standpoint. And Ken can coordinate that. He'll put you on a race or put you on a candidate. But we need everybody really to kind of jump in to help do this. Endorsement vetting policy, the objective is decide which candidate, if any, warrants MCTP support within a particular race. The structure of the vetting committee is, kind of talked about that, the chair, me, was appointed by Pat, and then I appointed and guide the team leads from that perspective. Then we get to the selection of the vetting committee. To be on the vetting committee, you must be a dues paid MCTP member, commit the time and reading requirements, and there is a lot of reading. We have a minimum of 3-member team at every interview, no less than that. And it cannot be a candidate. Here are the key provisions. It cannot be a candidate on there, or a campaign manager, or a treasurer, or paid staff, or a spouse of any one of those. It applies to that particular individual race, typically. And of course, it must be a registered voter of Montgomery County. Endorsement levels. The MCTP vetting committee may vet individuals who have filed or expressed an intention to file. Our categories are endorsed, recommended, no recommendation, or not enough information. The endorsement requires at least 75% of the vetting committee. We'll then, after that, present at the next regular MCTP meeting, open meeting, our section with pros and cons. The MCTP meeting, voting members will vote to make vetting committee results public or not. And that's the active voting members that are dues paid, that Pat was just talking about a second ago. 60% or more of MCTP voting members in attendance must approve the communication of the vetting results to the public. Post-endorsement changes will be done on a case-by-case basis. Once the results are in and we endorse somebody, it's going out right away. We're not going to wait for our vetting form so that we can get behind those candidates if need be to support them. And our results will go out by blast, by social media, on our website, and a PR release by Pat as soon as the vote is taken here in the open meeting. And we're going to try to get that as close to, well, the endorsements will go out right away. The voter's guide we'll try to get, certainly, is probably going to be after the filing deadline to make sure nobody comes in late. In all likelihood, those state candidates will do it, but there will be some commissioners that might pop in at the last second, and maybe even JPs. Did I say that we needed researchers? Ken needs some help, and we do need some help researching. So if you can lend a hand, that'd be fantastic. Ken's got some great ideas. I just basically said, you know, do what we need to do to get kind of a description and the pros and cons of each race. But we got to a point where, you know, this is all going to be accessible on our website and pretty much a Wikipedia format with his home page and all the races being the landing page, and then you can drill down from there. And on that, for each race, we discussed that we're probably going to, if we do endorse somebody, we're going to have them right beside there, so you, right beside the race name, so that you're only about 2 or 3 clicks away from the beginning. So I hope that answers the question that you had.
Now, I know we're videotaping the interview. Where will that be accessible for everybody?
Right.
From the website?
The page that you're talking about, John? Or?
Yeah, is it going to be is it going to be hyperlinked where Ken will have the candidate? Because I think we're going to have the questionnaire.
It may be posted somewhere else, but we can sort of credit link that.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I mean.
All right.
When will those be available? After the vetting, or, I mean, after the vote of everybody, or whenever we can put them up?
What's that?
When will the videos be available?
We probably should not post any of the videos of any interview until we have interviewed all candidates for that particular race.
Okay.
And if one candidate does not want to be, or more, does not want to be vetted, then what will you do?
Oh, well,
Then none of them will be posted, or?
no, we'll notate that they declined or did not respond.
So it's definitely to everyone's advantage to do that, you know, to put as much information out there as we can, or that you can as a candidate, you know, that would be for everybody. As much as, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get as much information out there as we can.
Also, too, if somebody wants to help type in answers of candidates, we need somebody to transfer just some data typing and that sort of thing. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, the questionnaires are coming back. We need to move a lot of information over from what the candidates sending in electronically. I mean, you can do it that way and then plug it into the Google Docs spreadsheet. It's just very, very labor intensive.
John, if I'm not mistaken, to be putting this much information out, I don't think there's anybody else that's ever done this much. I mean, it's going to be where if you didn't want to take one of our voters' guides, you can make your own decision because all the information is going to be there. And nobody else is doing that I know. So it's a really a big step that we're taking. That we think it's very important for it to be for your eyes.
And we're moving fast, as Dell will attest to. I mean, we're moving really fast, and these guys will, you know, they probably under their breaths, you know, like Patton Soldiers did to him, because I'm driving pretty hard.
Yes, sir.
You know, to get this
Yes, sir.
to get this done as fast as possible. No free evenings at all. But we are trying to do it right, and we want to get as much information out there as we can on this so we can get more participation, especially in the lower level races. You know, everybody, yeah, they'll go out and vote senator and the House, and maybe to a degree on some of the Texas races. But you get to the county races, and more times than not, they're clueless. They're clueless. They really are. I mean, I talk to people all the time. They're totally
And there's no one place that you can go and get all the information on all the candidates.
That's actually one other thing we're going to have on this website is just talking about what's a county commissioner do.
Yeah, what does he do? How many is?
Why do we elect a judge?
Yeah, why do we need
A lot of people think they're really judges.
And why do we have a Texas Railroad Commissioner that has nothing to do with railroads?
Right.
So one of the things we're going to have on the race page is a description of the office and what they do.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, so we need typists, we need researchers. You know, if you can help out, talk with Kim, and he's, you know, he'll put you to work. Thank you.
You might notice